Hi everybody, welcome back to Soul Pilates. You can go ahead and get comfortable on your mat. Cross your ankles over, grab a blanket if you need. Palms are facing up and relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. Relax your breathing. Tune into the sensations in your body. Your soul always knows exactly what you need. When you move in alignment with the universal energy that flows through you in every aspect of life, you effortlessly discover that you are upheld by that energy on every level: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So how do we spark the full potential of happiness that is waiting within? We do it by focusing on our dreams and desires, and by seeing those dreams and desires as wonderful little clues that guide us to a state of happiness in all areas of life. What we focus on expands. Imagine what happens when we focus on and embrace the guidance of our deepest desires. The flow of authentic happiness is set in motion. When we focus on and embrace the guidance of our deepest desires, the flow of authentic happiness is set in motion. Authentic happiness, true happiness, is your birthright. You have the power to access and sustain deep, lasting happiness all the time. Instead of pursuing happiness from the outside in, we begin to cultivate the magnificent happiness that is already there, all around us. Relax in the certainty that your deepest desires are leading you to the best version of yourself. You can start to bring your attention back into the room. Very gently open your eyes whenever you're ready, and we'll go over our Pilates setup. You have hip width the size of 2 fists between your feet and your knees. Your shoe size roughly heels to glutes, and you can roll your back down onto the mat. Check in with your pelvis position, imprint your spine and arch your back. Roll your back into the mat and arch your back. Find the center of those 2 pelvic tilts for neutral, a very gentle, subtle curve in the lower back. Make sure you're not flaring the rib cage, so your lower ribs are heavy and your tailbone is heavy. Take your hands onto your rib cage. Inhale and open the ribs wide. Exhale, knit the ribs together. Breathe into the back and the sides of your rib cage. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Hands by the sides, reach your hands to the end of the room, shoulders back, lower ribs heavy, gentle chin nod. Take a breath into the side of your ribs. With your exhale, gentle with the pelvic floor like you're holding in wind, holding in P. Scoop the belly, trace up along your spine and knit your ribs in and down. Inhale to the side of your rib cage. Exhale, gentle pelvic floor, abs, ribs. Breathe deep and wide. Exhale, pelvic floor, abs, ribs. Once more, breathe in and out. Take a breath in to prepare. With your exhale, switch on the center of your body. Lift your left knee into tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, switch on your core. Lift the right knee into tabletop. Squash your knees and ankles together. You want to keep your knees steady in space as you gently imprint your spine using your lower abs and then release to neutral. So instead of this happening, your knees are staying steady, you're imprinting and releasing. Feel the lower abs instigate this movement. As you release, You're aware of your mid-back against the mat. Inhale and exhale. The chance to love and be loved exists no matter where you are. The chance to love and be loved exists no matter where you are. Your lower ribs are heavy, your tailbone is heavy. You're going to imprint your spine for this first round. Scoop your belly, knit your ribs so it feels like we're curling. You're going to exhale to tap the right toes. Inhale, knees and ankles touch. Exhale, tap the left toes. Inhale, knees and ankles touch. Feel the upper abs knitting your ribs towards your hips, scooping and pressing your lower back into the mat. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Everything passes if you learn to hold things lightly. You become what you believe. You become what you believe. You become what you believe. Back to the center. Knees above your hips, and you're in a neutral pelvis instead of an imprint. So that gentle curve in the lower back, lower ribs heavy. Same exercise. If you prefer to imprint again, that's okay. Scoop through the center, tap your left toes. Inhale to lift. With your exhale, scoop through the center, nice and braced for your spine as you tap the right toes. Inhale to the side of the ribs to lift. When you're ready, there is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. There is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. When you're ready, come back to the center. Hug your knees in and just relax the front of your hips. Rock your knees from side to side. You can let your head out from side to side. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Come back to the center. Release your knees into tabletop. The single leg version is less weight for our core, so it'll help us to stabilize our pelvis position. So if you'd prefer to repeat the imprint single leg tap, followed by a neutral or again an imprinted version of the single leg tap, you can. Otherwise, we're going to go for double leg. But make sure you feel like the abs are in control, there's no pain in your back. In that case, you go back to the single leg. So we're starting with imprint. Scoop your belly, knit your ribs so the middle of the back sinks down, the lower back sinks down. Exhale, you're tapping both legs together. It's as if your feet are tied together. There's a piece of paper between the ankles and between the knees, and you don't want to drop either piece of paper. Or maybe a 50-euro note would be more incentive, so don't drop that money. And inhale. Exhale. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never have enough. Be thankful for what you have. You will end up having more. Back to the center, squash your knees and ankles together. You're coming to a neutral spine instead of an imprint. So bring back that neutral curve, lower ribs heavy, scoop the belly, knit the ribs. If you'd prefer to imprint because you feel like there's more control to stabilize your pelvis position, that's okay. Otherwise, neutral. Scoop through the center, knit your ribs as you tap the toes. Inhale, you open the ribs out so you keep that spine position nice and steady. Exhale. And inhale. Balance is my true nature. I trust the wisdom of my body. Balance is my true nature. I trust the wisdom of my body. When you're ready, You're going to separate the knees and ankles apart. Imagine you've got a weight tied to each ankle. Scoop your belly, knit the ribs to manage that weight. Take a breath in. Exhale, switch on your core. Lower the left foot down fully, nice and slow, managing the weight. Inhale. Exhale, switch on the core. Slow and controlled, lower the right foot down. Move your feet further away from your bum, somewhere where your toes are still planted. Dig the heels into the mat slightly. Draw the heels towards you so you feel the legs switching on. Float your hands, stretch your hands across the room, the armpits draw down the sides of the body. Lower ribs are heavy, tailbone is heavy. Exhale, switch on the core. Head, neck and shoulders lift into ab prep. Heels are dragging towards you. You're not cramming your back into the mat, so you're still neutral. You've got control through the core. Arms are stretching across the room. Chest is proud. Lower ribs are heavy, so the abs are in control and the neck is relaxed. Anytime you're not sure, lower the head down and you can still pump the arms with the head on the mat. We're going for the 100. Keep digging the heels towards you. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. My outer world reflects my inner world. 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 And gently lower down. Slide your heels towards you, hug your knees in, rock your knees from side to side, let your head out from side to side. Take a deep breath in and out. Full breath in and exhale. When you're ready, come back to the center and release your knees into tabletop. Squash the knees and ankles together. Crawl your fingers down the mat, your armpits draw down the sides of the body, shoulders back, lower ribs heavy. So see and feel that adjustment with the rib cage, giving you a bit more length across the front of the neck and repositioning the whole rib cage mid-back against the mat. Float your hands and stretch. Exhale, switch on your core. Head, neck and shoulders lift into ab prep. Hands gently behind the head. Open the elbows wide. Scoop your belly and knit your ribs so you feel the abs in control. You could let go with the hands and it would feel the same, but the hands are there just for a little cradling, a little support. Open the elbows wide. Exhale, rotate. Right elbow to the floor. Left leg reaches at a diagonal. If you prefer to reach the leg up to the ceiling, you can, whatever suits your back. And you inhale to draw it back to the center. Exhale, left elbow to the floor, right leg at a diagonal. And inhale. You're not crunching to the knee. Your pelvis stays neutral, so we're not cramming the back into the mat. And make sure your elbows stay away from your ears so you're open across the chest. Think of all of that detail. Keep revisiting that detail, and we're going to do 7 rounds. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. Our outer world reflects our inner world. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. Our outer world reflects our inner world. Come back to the center. Keep your knees where they are. Lower your shoulders down. You're going to inhale to reach your arms in line with your ears, and make sure you're not flaring the rib cage off the mat, so lower ribs are heavy. You're going to lengthen your legs out. The lower the legs go, the more weight there's going to be on the core, so make sure this doesn't happen. Lower ribs heavy, tailbone heavy. If the feet are closer to the mat, it's going to be a little less weight, so you can choose. And then we exhale, knees above the hips and hands by the sides, scoop through the center. Think of that detail. So we're not here. You start in tabletop and end in tabletop. Inhale to reach, think of the back of the body. Exhale, scoop through the core. You have 5. Your soul always knows exactly what you need. Move in alignment with the energy that flows through you in every aspect of your life. Your soul always knows exactly what you need. You can continue for another 5 with this version, or same exercise but you're in ab prep, so a little bit more challenging on the abs. You choose your position, adjust your position if you like, and when you're ready, inhale and exhale. You have 5. Your soul always knows exactly what you need. Focus on your dreams and desires. What you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. Lower your shoulders down, hug your knees in, rock your knees from side to side, let your head out from side to side. If you'd like, you can reach the arms wide and bring your knees from one side of the floor to the other if that suits your back. You don't have to, you could keep it smaller. Just enjoy this rotation before we switch our positions. Take a deep breath in and out. Come back to the center. You can use your hands to come forward, or you can roll forward, like rolling like a ball. It's up to you. Bring your bum further back from your heels so you could fit 2 or 3 shoes in this space. Relax your shoulders. Anchor down with your hips. Feel length through the spine. So you have this opposition of feeling the heavy pelvis grounded and then floating up and lengthening through the spine. Reach the arms in front. If you stretch even further forward, our shoulder blades separate. The opposite of that, you draw your shoulder blades together. So feel the chest shortening as the shoulder blades separate, then the chest muscles lengthening as you draw your shoulder blades together. Feel the difference between these 2 positions and find the center, so it doesn't feel like we're using any elastic pull, you're just relaxed in the center. Again, you feel the grounding of your pelvis, the length through your spine. Just draw your armpits down, so you have the opposition of stretching upward through the crown of the head, but drawing the shoulders down. Get your brain very gently into the front and the back of the pelvic floor, holding in P, holding in wind. Scoop your belly up along your spine and knit your ribs in and down. Draw the armpits down. Take a breath in. With your exhale, you scoop the belly out like an ice cream scoop, front of the body through the back of the body, and you gently tuck to roll back. So instead of this, where the abs are away from the back, scoop your belly, knit your ribs. So see the way the abs have come away from the back? You scoop, it makes the front of the body long and the back of the body long. So you've length through the front, drawing up against the back, and length through the back. And you feel the abs switch on straight away. You can think about drawing your heels towards you slightly, and you get that recruitment, that involvement through the back of the legs. Here you want to stabilize and inhale. With your next exhale, you reinforce, scooping out the core like an ice cream scoop, helps you to come forward, and you inhale to roll and stack. Put in as much detail as you can from those cues. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And if you want to make it harder, you can go a little further. Balance is my true nature. I trust the wisdom of my body. Balance is my true nature. I trust the wisdom of my body. Balance is my true nature. I trust the wisdom of my body. Balance is my true nature. I trust the wisdom of my body. And roll and stack and relax your shoulders. You're just going to cross the ankles over, sitting up nice and tall. Reach the arms in front, check your shoulder blade position, draw the armpits down, get your brain into the pelvic floor, scoop your belly, knit your ribs. With that focus on the center, that stability, open the arms out nice and wide so you stretch across your chest. Press into the sides of your feet and your pelvis so you're grounded. It's like you're sitting in cement. So from our hip bones down, you're stuck in cement. So we're only going to move from the mid-spine. Stretch the arms out, melt the armpits down. If space is an issue, you can bend at the elbows. You just want your chest to be open here. Inhale to the side of your ribs. Exhale nice and smooth to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale and exhale. The more stressful and chaotic things are on the outside, the calmer you need to get on the inside. It's the only way you can connect with where your spirit is leading you. The more stressful and chaotic things are on the outside, the calmer you need to get on the inside. It's the only way you can connect with where your spirit is leading you. Come back to the center, relax your shoulders. You can always create circles with your shoulders if you want some extra blood flow. Relax your hips. You can go to one side with the legs, or you can come through those crossed ankles onto all fours. So whatever suits your knees better, and we'll meet on this all fours position. Hip width, the size of 2 fists between your knees. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Check your shoulder blade position, sliding the shoulder blades together and apart, like when we were seated, but now we have this feedback, this closed chain feedback through the floor. So feel your shoulder blades sliding together and apart. You're aware of your shoulder blades gliding across your rib cage, building that awareness, that mind-body connection. Find the center where you're not rounding too much, you're not squeezing too much. Your shoulder blades are relaxed against your rib cage. Check your pelvis position, tilting up and down, like the start of the class, but the mat was behind our back. And find the center. We'll check that with the muscles if you're not sure of your position. Just relax the head so you're lining up the neck into the rest of the spine. So instead of here, you're looking straight down. Reach forward through the crown of the head as if there's a unicorn horn and you're following it forward. At the same time, reach back through the tailbone. Feel the length through the spine and the opposition of those two directions. Press into the front of the feet as if you're about to lift the knees, but keep your knees on the mat. Get your brain into the front and the back of the pelvic floor. Scoop your belly and knit your ribs, so that's going to bring you into alignment. Soften the elbows, draw the armpits down. Take a breath in. With your exhale, switch on the center, like a corset is tightening around the center of the body, and lengthen your right leg back behind you. Keep stretching through the right leg, reach through the toes, the ankle, the knee, and the hip. You're going to inhale to tap. Exhale, use your bum and your abs to lift, so we don't want this to happen. You stay neutral, you're using the core. Inhale and exhale, keep stretching backwards. You have 8. I trust that everything happens for a reason, even when we're not wise enough to see it. I trust that everything happens for a reason, even if we're not wise enough to see it. You can repeat that exercise for 8 reps, or we're going to add on, progress it a little. So the right leg is back, reach the left hand forward. If you'd prefer to just do the hand with the leg down, or just do the leg again, you can. Relax your shoulders. If you feel like you're veering to one side, draw your attention to the center line. You feel that support. Stretch in 2 different directions. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. You have 8. When people tell you who they are, believe them. When people show you who they are, believe them. When people tell you who they are, believe them. Stretch in 2 different directions and then draw it down. Find your center, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Press into the feet, scoop through the core, relax your shoulders, lengthen your neck, line your neck up through the rest of the spine. Exhale, switch on the core. A corset is tightening around the middle of your body, and lengthen the left leg back. The more you stretch through your toes, your ankle, your knee, and your hip, the less weight you're going to feel in the hands, and the more we're going to recruit the core muscles. We don't want our back to arch and then neutralize again. Keep it neutral. Scoop the belly, knit the ribs as if there's a cup of tea on your back. Inhale to tap and exhale to lift. Use your bum muscles, use your ab muscles together to stabilize. We have 8. Now that I know better, I can do better. When I know better, I do better. Now that I know better, I can do better. You can repeat that exercise or you can progress. Left hand back, so right arm forward. Relax the shoulder, stretch through the wrist and through the ankle. Get your center. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. You have 8. You can have it all. You just can't have it all at once. I can have it all. I just can't have it all at once. We can have it all. We just can't have it all at once. Inhale and stretch in 2 different directions. Exhale to lower down with control. You can come down onto the elbows to relax your wrists. If your knees are okay with it, you can sit fully into a shell pose, whatever suits your knees and your back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fully let everything go. Breathe into your back. And exhale. You can crawl the fingers further forward and get the elbows closer to the ground to release into your chest, into your shoulders. Breathe into your back. And exhale. Whenever you're ready, we're coming to a side lying position, so you can take your time. I'm on my left side first if you'd like to mirror me. We're going to bend the knees. You have a 90-degree angle from the hips. If the top knee is further back, our hips are not stacked, so you want the knees to be on top of each other for your hips to stack. Relax your shoulders. I'm going to support my head, but you might choose to lie down flat or cradle your head, so you can adjust the upper body if you like. Relax your shoulders. The hand can help you to balance, or a little more challenging is to keep your hand on your hip. You're going to float the top knee, press down into the bottom leg, into the side of the ankle, the knee and the hip. Relax your shoulders. Imagine your knee is a crayon and you're going to start to draw a circle with that crayon. You keep pushing down into the bottom leg. Inhale for half the circle and exhale for half the circle. Nice and slow, so we feel our muscles adjusting around this exercise, catching up, organizing and getting involved. We're going to do 7 circles in one direction and then we'll swap. So when you're ready, inhale and exhale. Real growth is not about becoming bigger and more powerful. It's about becoming softer, more compassionate, more at ease with vulnerability. Swap direction. Real growth is not about getting bigger and more powerful. It's about becoming softer, more compassionate, and more at ease with vulnerability. Check that your knees are still stacked, so our hips are stacked. We're going to touch the top knee off the bottom knee, then externally rotate the hip and tap the toes together. So we have this internal rotation and this external rotation. We're going to feel that burn in the glutes. We're doing 8 rounds. Inhale and exhale. Everything passes if you learn to hold things lightly. Everything passes if you learn to hold things lightly. Everything passes if you learn to hold things lightly. When you're ready, we're going to stretch that top leg out. Turn your knee slightly up towards the ceiling. We feel the movement of the ball and socket joint. Reach through your toes, your ankle, your knee and your hip. It gives you a bit more space underneath the lower side of the body, so you could slide a piece of paper under here. Keep stretching away. Anchor down with the bottom knee. If your knee lifts, you've gone too big with the movement. You're going to inhale for half a circle and exhale for half. Big or small is up to you. We have 5 in each direction. Failure is just another way to learn how to do something right. Failure is just another way to learn how to do something right. Reverse the direction. There's no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. There's no such thing as failure. Failure is life trying to move us in another direction. When you're ready, you can draw the leg in, relax it down, wake up the outside of the hip. We're going to do all of that on the second side. You can always take your time, swapping over. So we're starting with the knees bent. You can choose your upper body position, whatever suits you. There's a 90-degree angle here at the hip and 90 degrees behind the knee. Your knees are stacked. Relax your shoulders. Scoop through the center of the body, so connect to your midline. Get your brain into the midline. Float the top knee. Your knee is a paintbrush or a crayon, and we're drawing circles with that knee. Inhale for half a circle and exhale for half. You've 7. Listen to your energy. Move with your energy. Your soul always knows exactly what you need. Listen to yourself. Move with your energy. Your soul always knows exactly what you need. Reverse the direction. Focus on your dreams and desires. They are clues that guide you to a state of happiness. Focus on your dreams and desires. They are clues that guide you to a state of happiness. When you're ready, check that your knees are stacked, so our hips are stacked. Get length away with the tailbone, up through the crown of the head, connect to the middle of the body. Inhale to tap the knees, exhale to tap the toes. You've got 8. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. When you're ready, stretch the leg out, reach through your toes. Someone's pulling the toes away from your ankle. Someone's pulling your ankles away from your knee away from your hip, and turn your knee slightly up towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Little changes amount to big benefits. Little changes amount to big benefits. Reverse the direction. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. When you're ready, you can bring the knee in and just wake up the outside of the hip. You're going to come to a seated position and cross the ankles over, curl your tailbone under and crawl the fingers forward. So we're going to stretch right into the external hip rotators where we were just working. Relax your shoulders, take a deep breath in and out. When you're ready, you can walk the hands back in, swap your cross. For some of us this will feel normal, most of us it will feel a little off balance. It'll help us to balance our hips. Tuck your tailbone under, crawl the fingers forward. Get your elbows closer to the ground. Keep curling back so you stretch right into the outside of your bum muscles. Take a deep breath in and out. And again. And out. Whenever you're ready, you can go to one side of the knees, or you can come through these crossed ankles and you're making your way all the way down onto your belly, and you can take your time. The feet are nice and close together as if they're about to touch. Relax your shoulders. Can you just float the feet and stretch? Stretch from the front of your legs, so feel the way that helps you to recruit the muscles. So as you stretch through the front of the legs, you feel all the way up the legs, reach through your toes, your ankles, your knees and your hips. Relax your shoulders. Now tuck the tailbone. So as you lower the feet down, this is coming from the core. Push the front of the legs into the mat. Scoop your belly and knit your ribs. It draws the upper body closer to the mat. Can you keep your brain in your legs? So you're going to keep tucking the tailbone, pushing into the front of the legs, then release the arms in front. So it feels light with the upper body and your brain is back here in the core work and the leg work. Relax your shoulders. Lower the fingertips down. Scoop through the core as if there's a thumbtack underneath your belly button. You're going to inhale to lift the left hand and the right leg. We're trying not to cram the belly into the mat. It's more about stretching. Exhale to lower. Inhale the right hand and the left leg and exhale to lower. This is great for balance because it builds our awareness through this coordination. So even though we're on the floor, it helps our balance and that'll translate into our bone health over time. So that awareness through the body and that stability. Let's work on this cross body exercise. Tuck your tailbone, scoop your belly, knit your ribs. Starting with the left hand and the right leg, inhale and exhale. Right hand and left leg and exhale. You're not lifting so high that it annoys your back, so make it smaller if you need, and we have 8 rounds. What we focus on expands. Imagine what happens when we focus on and embrace the guidance of our deepest desires. The flow of authentic happiness is set in motion. What we focus on expands. Imagine what happens when we focus on and embrace the guidance of our deepest desires. The flow of authentic happiness is set in motion. Relax it down. You feel that gentle work in your back. You're going to bring the legs a bit closer together. Tuck your tailbone, slide your hands down, elbows on the ground, so make sure they're not floating. It helps you to flatten your shoulder blades against your rib cage. Shoulders down away from the ears. Lengthen your neck. Reach forward through the crown of the head, so feel the opposition of shoulders drawing back and the head reaching forward. Tuck your tailbone, scoop your belly, knit your ribs. Get your brain into the front and the back of your pelvic floor. Scoop your belly, draw the ribs down so you create this waking up through the deep muscles in the core. Inhale to peel the upper body. Allow the front of the body to move. Allow that extension in your back. If you want to lift the elbows, you can. They don't have to straighten fully. If this is too intense, the hands can be further forward so you don't come as high. You're just keeping your shoulders away from the ears. So choose your position. Inhale. And exhale. Front of the legs are heavy. You have 7. True happiness is your birthright. You have the power to access and sustain deep, lasting happiness all the time. Instead of pursuing happiness from the outside in, we begin to cultivate the magnificent happiness that is already there all around us. Relax in the certainty that your deepest desires are leading you to the best version of yourself. Relax in the certainty that your deepest desires are leading you to the best version of yourself. When you're ready, you can let it go. You're going to press back onto all fours. Relax your shoulders. Just go for a cat-cow stretch, just relaxing our spines. And you can come back to the center. We're coming to a seated position to finish off on our meditation. If you'd like to grab a pillow or a blanket, please do. Anchor down and ground with the hips. Relax your shoulders. You feel all the strength around your spine now that we've been firing our core muscles. So you should find it a lot easier to stay seated here. Palms face up, relax your shoulders, gently close your eyes, allow yourself to rest. Gain a deeper connection to yourself by asking 2 essential questions. Why do I connect when I do? Why do I disconnect when I do? Let's sit with the first question and see what comes to mind. Why do I connect when I do? Let's sit with the second question. Why do I disconnect when I do? We gain a deeper connection to ourselves by asking these two essential questions. Why do I connect when I do? Why do I disconnect when I do? A deeper level of awareness can resolve conflict in any relationship. Let's repeat this positive affirmation. My awareness is aligned with the creative power of the universe. You can repeat it out loud or in your mind after I say it. My awareness is aligned with the creative power of the universe. My awareness is aligned with the creative power of the universe. My awareness is aligned with the creative power of the universe. My awareness is aligned with the creative power of the universe. When you're ready, you can bring your attention back into the room. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. Allow your body to rest, and you can open your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Soul Pilates. I hope you're enjoying all of the days and all of the different affirmations. Tomorrow's affirmations are from Eckhart Tolle. Thank you.